sanctions are acts of war. If I come and I turn off the electricity to your house and all the food in your fridge goes bad and you can't eat, or whether I come and I actually steal the food, I take it from you, or I stop someone from delivering food to you, I stop you from being able to buy food, all of these lead to the same result. So, whether you bomb a country and take out its infrastructure, or you sanction a country and take out its infrastructure and people starve, it's no difference for the people that are targeted. So when you see the United States put sanctions on a country, that's an act of war. And it's illegal under international law. It's unilateral. That would never hold up in an international court, right? So we were looking at a New York Times article just earlier about how the United States purposely crippled Venezuela's infrastructure, and specifically the oil infrastructure. So even though Venezuela has all this wealth, the largest oil reserves, it can't export it because it won't be allowed to sell on global markets, and it can't refine it because the infrastructure is broken. I'd say it was damaged on purpose. Cuba, despite the embargo, developed its own COVID-19 vaccine. Do you know what the United States did? The United States made sure they specifically tried to prevent Cuba from being able to buy syringes to deliver the vaccine. Here's what the chargé d'affaires had to say, right? Take a look.
Not a single family in Cuba has not been affected by the blockade. Everyone has been affected because the blockade affects every dimension of the Cuban economy and society. And you have mentioned in your question the problems, the difficulties that Cuba has in getting supplies, medical supplies during the pandemic, and this has been as a result of the blockade. And I think that the most painful dimension of the blockade is the impact on the health situation, on the health system in Cuba. And another example of the health system and of the impact of these sanctions is that we in Cuba are deprived from acquiring some medicines only produced in the US for the treatment of cancer, for example. Yes. And on the other hand, Cuba is also deprived from the national industry is deprived from to financing to import inputs for the food production.
You heard that. So there are cancer drugs only made in the US. Cuba's not allowed to have them, right? And I've seen and heard countless stories of people in Iran trying to get cancer medication. Nope, can't have it because of sanctions, going from one pharmacy to the next. Think about that. Think about how heartbreaking that is. You got someone in your family suffering from cancer, and just because you come from Iran or you come from Cuba, the United States is literally fucking killing your family member or your friend, or even if you don't know them, people in the hospital. Equipment cannot be replaced. Replacement parts can't be bought. This is evil, and this is an act of war.